coming up on Global Business. China announced the establishment of the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization as Shanghai prepares to host the World AI Conference starting tomorrow. Chip IPO. Changxin Memory Technologies officially opens the books for its Star Market IPO, launching both online and institutional subscription rounds. Export surge. Strong worldwide demand fuels a new surge in Chinese exports of computing hardware and power equipment. Hello and welcome to this edition of Global Business on CGTN. I'm Lulu. The 2026 World AI Conference and high-level meeting on global AI governance will be held in Shanghai from July 17th to the 20th. With its largest ever scale and record international participation, the event is expected to showcase the latest AI breakthroughs and shape discussions on global AI governance. Wu Bing has more from Shanghai.
The 2026 World Artificial Intelligence Conference, also known as WAC, will kick off tomorrow in Shanghai. Chinese President Xi Jinping will attend the opening ceremony and deliver a keynote speech. Some of the international guests will also attend the conference, including the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, who has arrived in Shanghai. It's the 8th year for WAC to be held in Shanghai, and this year is by far the largest one with the greatest participation. It's divided into two parts, forums and exhibitions. Let's first talk about the highlights of the forums. This year, over 140 forums will be held during the 4-day event and covering basically all aspects of the AI world, including the global governance of AI, AI in physics, and also the development of embodied intelligence, which is a huge topic in the past several years. And over 1,400 scholars, including Nobel Prize and Turing Award winners, will participate in all those forums. They will also share their insights, their latest findings, and also communicate with Chinese scholars. And in terms of the exhibitions, which is more related to the industry side, this year the exhibition expands to 3 locations in the city, and over 1,100 companies will showcase around 3,000 latest products, including 300 of them being showcased for the first time. And some of the most highlighted products, including the world's most powerful superpod Atlas 950 from Chinese company Huawei, and also a latest humanoid robot from a Shanghai-based company called Ajibot. This robot can work for non-stop for 10 hours and charge itself automatically. And each year, based on my experience for the past years of reporting, tens of thousands of visitors will go into the exhibition hall, both from the industry side and also the general public. They are all keen to know what's happening in the AI world.
The signing ceremony of the agreement on the establishment of the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization was held in Shanghai on Thursday. The signing ceremony took place on the eve of the 2026 World Artificial Intelligence Conference. The WAC, to be held from July 17th to the 20th, will feature over 140 forums and bring together 1,400 participants from home and abroad. The exhibition areas exceed 100,000 square meters. The event will showcase more than 3,000 products and technologies, with over 300 making their global debut. China is taking steps to promote inclusive AI development and contributing to its global governance. In 2023, the Global AI Governance Initiative was proposed, which emphasizes a people-centered approach and calls for AI technologies to serve the common good. Building on that vision, China's 2025 Action Plan for Global AI Governance, together with its 15th five-year plan, highlights the goal of creating a widely inclusive international AI governance architecture and bolstering AI capacity development across the global south. In the meantime, China's AI innovation is also contributing to economic growth. In the first half of the year, imports and exports of computing hardware, including electronic components, computer parts, rose nearly 57% to 5.1 trillion yuan. AI-powered products are also gaining momentum. A UN scientific panel published its first global AI assessment earlier this month, saying that benefits are still unevenly distributed across countries and regions. Mandeep Gill, United Nations Under-Secretary General and Special Envoy for Digital and Emerging Technologies, talks to CGTN about China's role in bridging the AI divide.
China is a leading AI economy. In fact, it's a bridge actor between the leading AI countries and the global south. So it has a very important position in the global system when it comes to AI's development, R&D, applications, but also its governance. China is also taking steps, very concrete steps, on the governance of these technologies so that the most vulnerable children, for example, are not harmed by emotional dependence on these tools or some other forms of, maladaptive behavior. So I think as we gather at the World AI Conference in Shanghai, China's role in terms of the development of the technology, in terms of its governance, in terms of international cooperation also becomes important. I think China has played a leading role in terms of taking forward international discussions on how to bridge the AI divide.
And now let's get more discussions and insights on global AI governance. For that, we're joined by Mr. Zhou Mi, Senior Research Fellow of the Chinese Academy of International Trade and Economic Cooperation. Mr. Zhou, so the WAC 2026 is on for tomorrow. What are the core values this event bring to global AI collaboration and governance?
Well, as the news has just mentioned, that WICO is as a new international organization is going to be established. I think that is a kind of a very important event. If you're looking around in the world, we are suffering from some of this, missing of the mechanism, including the international organizations. Based on that organization, I mean that all the related members are able to try to sit down and discuss about what we can do. Can we reach some kind of common rules, or can we share our technology with each other? How can we deal with some of the conflicts and trying to make a better consensus? So AI is developing very quickly, but unevenly. So based on that kind of facts, we need to have some better platform for all the related stakeholders to join this kind of discussion. I think that based on that kind of ideas, it's a continuous work after several years of preparation. I hope that all the related members can join this kind of discussion, and we are open to the world. So it's very important.
How can platforms like WACO help to bridge global digital divide and deliver AI dividends to more developing economies?
Well, as one of the three main, consensus reached by all the members, I think that the capability building is one of the most important things, because many of the developing countries and emerging economies are lacking behind. They are trying to be involved in this kind of cooperation, but they are not have the abilities. The ability is not just by the hardwares of the data centers or kind of the connections, but also based on the big models. So China is sharing with the world with the open source systems like the big model. I think that is really our very important things. So I hope that all the related stakeholders, especially for the global south, can create our better and bigger integrated market. We can share our technology, and we can also try to address our specific challenges together.
So what concrete efforts has China made to advance inclusive global AI governance, and how will these practices connect with WACO's follow-up work?
Well, in my understanding, that efforts are taken by both the government and also the enterprises. As a government, China is always trying to ask for other members in WTO or in other organizations to support the smaller or the less developed countries to be involved in the abilities step up or upgrade. Well, as enterprises, many companies are trying to share their abilities with their trading partners, no matter in the way of the trade or the investment. So I think that based on that kind of efforts, all the related stakeholders can do it together, and we can establish a better and more sustainable ways of developing in this kind of AI and technology, and also the digital economy.
Thank you so much for your insights, Mr. Zhou Mi from the Chinese Academy of International Trade and Economic Cooperation for us. And in 2023, Chinese President Xi Jinping announced the initiative of inviting 50,000 young Americans to China on exchange and study over the next 5 years. That target has already been met this May, but the dialogue is far from over. And just this summer, more U.S. students are arriving in China, curious about a country that they have seen online. Our reporter Wang Jiahong joined one of the study groups in Beijing.
Rooftop cooling systems, drones saving people from floods, and floating bridges relocating students. These are some of the most viral images of China this summer.
I saw this where the raft came in. As far as robotics go, the best uses for it are those that help humanity. And if it's helping humanity in a way like helping people on floods, saving someone in surgery, I think that's absolutely the best use of it.
For Simon and his fellows, the past 2 weeks have been about verification. Seeing, questioning, and realizing what they thought they knew about China. And yes, also meeting robots.
Honestly, the versatility of uses, I didn't realize that the technology had come so far.
At suburban Beijing's Robot Mall, they spent hours exploring how robotics is moving beyond industry, into hospitals, and into elderly care, giving them a glimpse of what human-centered tech looks like in practice.
I just think it's very interesting how China utilizes technology to make daily lives of people easier. And so it's very interesting to understand how the government utilizes it. So that way when I go back to America, I can actually kind of look at things a little bit differently and wonder what America will be like if we had these advances as well.
These robots totally wowed them. Actually, these students are part of China's initiative of inviting 50,000 U.S. youths in 5 years. Beyond seeing the real China firsthand, they're going to share common perspectives with Chinese peers. At Peking University, the conversation shifts from observation to reflection. Students say the two countries may compete, but their strengths can also complement each other. That comes as academic collaboration faces headwinds. Co-authored research between China and the U.S. has declined in recent years.
And I think right now it's stable, but for me, ideally, I'd prefer to use the term, I would like to be partners. I think partners is the most important. I think equal partners dealing with geopolitical issues and dealing with climate issues is like ideal for me.
I hope that there will be more cooperations, especially mutual understanding between these two countries, because we share a lot in common in the traditions or cultures or mindsets. So I hope that the Chinese and U.S. people can build more connection.
Their journey spans 4 cities: Shanghai, Taicang, Dunhuang, and Beijing.
In Dunhuang, we organized students to visit photovoltaic bases, as well as grassroots rural governance and rural revitalization projects. We hope these young people can walk into rural areas in science and technology innovation enterprises. They will gain a deeper understanding of China's transformation and innovation, view the differences between China and the United States from a youth perspective, and convey friendship and positive voices between the two countries.
More groups of students are now on the road, from viral clips to real-world encounters. This is a shift in perspective, and perhaps this is where the future begins to take shape. Wang Hongjia, CGTN, Beijing.
You're watching Global Business on CGTN. Still to come on the program. Chip IPO. Changxin Memory Technologies officially opens the books for its Star Market IPO, launching both online and institutional subscription rounds.
A vast land of 1.4 billion people. The world's second largest economy. Home to stories of the unexpected, the unimaginable, the breathtaking. Stories that touch the soul. Feel the speed, the passion. Enjoy spectacular natural and cultural landscapes. Feel the thrill of cutting-edge innovations. Discovering China. Global Biz. China Travel. We present a China never seen before. 24/7 at your fingertips.
Let's get a quick check on some other business headlines we're tracking at the hour, and we start with stock markets. Chinese semiconductor manufacturer Changxin Memory Technologies, or CXMT, launched its subscription on Thursday, pricing shares at 8.66 yuan per piece. Now the company seeks to raise up to 66.3 billion yuan. The IPO is poised to be the largest on the Chinese mainland market since 2010, and it is going to be the largest tech float in the country's history. Stay with stocks. SpaceX stocks saw more volatility in recent sessions. Now, that actually comes after the company shares fall below $135 per share during intraday trading on Wednesday. Now, that marks the first time it dips below its offering prices since its public debut. Following its listing on June the 12th, the stock reached a peak of $225 per share. And a spokesperson for China's Ministry of Commerce says that China and the Netherlands have agreed to foster a favorable environment for enterprises to resolve disputes through consultation, while safeguarding the security and stability of the global semiconductor supply and industrial chains. Well, the remarks came during a press briefing in response to a question regarding progress in resolving issues related to Nexperia, that's the Dutch headquartered semiconductor company owned by China's Wingtech. Shipping delays in the Strait of Hormuz have made it more expensive and difficult to move goods from around the world. The impact on Europe's largest port has so far been limited. But logistics companies are seeing higher freight costs and less space on ships. Sarah Coates has more from the port of Rotterdam.
The Strait of Hormuz is thousands of kilometres from the port of Rotterdam, but disruption along one of the world's busiest shipping routes is already being felt here. And for logistics companies, freight costs are usually the first to rise.
We pay around $300 to $600 extra on top of your normal fee. Besides this also has an influence on the capacity, which causes the price to increase. It's a hassle, let's say.
With fewer shipping slots available, companies have to move fast, finding other ways to get cargo to its destination.
You notice immediately the price increase. You notice immediately that the capacity is tight. Then you need to react, as they say. So then we go in contact with our agent and try to solve the problems in the supply chain.
So far, Rotterdam has avoided major disruption, but the wider effect on global markets matters.
The indirect effects on the global markets, the uncertainty, the energy prices is quite big. So we don't know the definite impact because we have to see it, of course, now. It opens up hopefully a bit more again how the situation is now. But for now, the impact is the indirect effects.
Goods are still moving through Rotterdam, but higher costs, tighter capacity and delays are piling more pressure on global trade. Sarah Coates, CGTN, the Port of Rotterdam.
Germany has long been one of Europe's least air-conditioned countries, with less than 1 in 5 households owning an AC unit. After another summer of record-breaking heat, that trend is changing. Natalie Carney reports from Munich.
It's been hot. Park benches and playgrounds sit empty as people escape the peak of the heat. Even wildlife is seeking out shade. While air conditioning is common in countries like the US, Australia, and Japan, only about 18% of German households have it. But as the climate warms, that trend is changing.
We don't have an air conditioner at home, but the last heat wave was really pushing the limits.
I don't have air conditioning at home. I only have it at the office, and I wouldn't want to give it up there.
No, I don't have air conditioning, but it's getting warmer, so now I'm thinking about buying one.
And so are many others. AC installer Die Klimameisterei has never been busier, receiving up to 80 calls a day from homeowners and big businesses.
We've seen a massive surge in demand. It's becoming hard to manage the volume of inquiries.
Maximilian says it can take weeks just to get an appointment.
While air conditioning is still considered a luxury item, the volume of inquiries shows that people are willing to invest in their comfort, something that wasn't really the case in the past.
For decades, short, mild summers, high electricity costs, and a culture for open windows meant that air conditioning was often unnecessary.
But as extreme heat becomes more common, retailers are saying air conditioners are flying off the shelves as they become the fastest growing technology Germans are using to keep cool.
That's led many to international retailers, helping to ease supply concerns, such as Alibaba, who told CGTN Germany is the only market surveyed where retailers increased wholesale orders for both portable fans and air conditioners year on year, and stands out as the strongest all-around growth market. Chinese cooling products are helping meet that demand, with exports of portable air conditioners from China to Western Europe up 70% in the first 5 months of 2026, even before this summer's heat waves. Many are now calling for wider use of air conditioning, particularly in schools and hospitals, after recent record-breaking heat forced some medical facilities to evacuate.
Air conditions are not only a matter of comfort, but also a health protection topic. We have to think about elderly communities, nursing homes, hospitals, and all communities that need caring from very hot conditions. But we have to face also the fact that increasing numbers of air conditions will also increase the energy demand.
As air conditioners become more energy efficient and increasingly powered by renewable electricity, companies like Die Klimameisterei expect demand to keep growing. Natalie Carney for CGTN in Munich.
China's exports of computing hardware and power equipment are rising, driven by strong global demand for data centers, computing power, and terminal devices. In the first half of this year, the country's trading computing hardware exceeded 5 trillion yuan, that is up nearly 57% from a year earlier. Customs data shows that these exports contributed about 7 percentage points to overall export growth. Transformer exports also saw steady gains, totaling around 22 billion yuan in the first 4 months of the year. That's a 27% increase on the year, supported by data center construction and grid upgrades abroad. And now we head to China's eastern city of Changzhou, a production hub for transformers. Zhang Siran finds out how a coastal city is helping upgrade global AI construction infrastructure.
Changzhou in China's Jiangsu province is known as the world's capital of transformers. Inside this plant, thousands of power transformers destined for 108 countries are undergoing final tests.
So this transformer is a generator step-up transformer for our power station on the west coast of Ireland.
Very fast delivery, but also very competitive on cost and high quality. Other suppliers, delivery times are very long.
What attracts international buyers is the China speed. A transformer that can take up to 2 years for delivery elsewhere can be shipped from Changzhou in just 4 months. This efficiency is made possible since nearly all core components are made locally. With over 70 export firms in Changzhou, the Yangtze River Delta region is a powerhouse, contributing to China's 60% hold on global transformer production.
We are building a great supply chain synergy that is of great efficiency. So the synergy consists of 4 provinces, including Shanghai, Zhejiang, Jiangsu, and Anhui. We have become the hub for knowledge creation and innovation. So we have many top-tier universities. The central government and the local government are doing a great job by fostering collaboration among different localities, and they can also use the policy tools to provide incentives for entrepreneurship and innovation.
China's export share of high-value, high-technology products is forecast to continue its rise.
Chinese transformers can provide ultra-high voltage and stable power supply to AI data centers and computing centers. We are very proud to make a highly efficient delivery, showing great professionality and work ethics of Chinese manufacturing firms. China is not only providing high-quality products, but also providing the entire solution to the power supply of the AI industry in the world.
The factory floor in Changzhou tells the story of China's evolving export growth. It's a shift fueled by the Yangtze River Delta's industrial circle. In order to shape a green and intelligent future, China is expected to increasingly supply the world with its smart manufacturing. Zhang Siran, CGTN, Shanghai.
China now ranks second in the world for concentrated solar power capacity. That is according to data released at the Qinghai Clean Energy Development Forum opening today in Xining. As of the end of June, the country had 24 operational projects totaling 2.1 million kilowatts of installed capacity. Unlike conventional solar panels, concentrated solar power uses mirrors to focus sunlight into heat, which is then converted into electricity.
China has become a main driver of new installed capacity in global concentrated solar power. The country has mastered mainstream technologies and built a globally leading industrial chain for the sector. The localization rate of technical equipment now exceeds 95%, and key materials and components have been fully indigenized.
For years, the city of Chengdu has seen its power grid operating on a single vulnerable circuit. Now that changed in this April with the activation of a solid dual-loop network. The system is designed to secure electricity for the megacity of over 21 million people. We'll take a closer look at how this engineering feat keeps the lights on.
Stretching from the Yudi substation, a network of transmission lines now interconnects 15 substations across 2 layered rings, forming Chengdu's 500 kilovolt solid dual-loop grid. As the core hub of the Chengdu-Chongqing economic circle, the city has seen electricity demand surge by over 8% annually for the past 5 years, with peak loads hitting new records each year. Yet Chengdu generates little of its own power. More than 80% must be imported. So how does this new grid meet the massive appetite of a growing metropolis?
The solid dual-loop system serves 3 purposes. It channels incoming power around the city center to balance loads. If one line fails, the other loop reroutes power instantly to prevent blackouts. And it significantly raises the grid's overall capacity, allowing more green energy to flow in. This gives us the headroom to support new districts, industries, and the rapid expansion of renewables.
Designed to mirror Chengdu's own ring-shaped urban expansion, the grid is also equipped with the world's first domestically developed grid-forming static VAR generator. This cutting-edge device can counter sudden voltage swings in milliseconds. Since going live, the system has pushed the downtown area's power reliability to 99.99% and boosted the main grid's safe load capacity to over 25 million kilowatts, a critical buffer for the city's future. The dual-loop system does 3 things. It channels incoming power around the city center to balance loads. If one line fails, the other loop reroutes power instantly to prevent blackouts. And it significantly raises the grid's overall capacity, allowing more green energy to flow in. This gives us the headroom to support new districts, industries, and the rapid expansion of renewables.
And with that, I'm coming to wrapping up this edition of Global Business on CGTN. I'm Lin Li in Beijing. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.